accepts rape, like rape culture. We play around with it and stuff like that. You go to jail and get raped and stuff like that. But what's blowing my mind is that we do live in a rape culture, because like a gentleman, Brock Turner, gets 6 months at most for raping a young lady. Then we got John Enoch, which is the thing that just really messes with me. He gets 1 day in prison and 1 year in probation. But that person that he did that offense to is forever turned, forever changed, right? And it's like, I really believe that rape culture is destroying our society. I mean, so what do y'all think about that? I mean, who wants to start? I mean, it's such a heavy topic.
No, go ahead.
There's a lot of toxic masculinity, and it's being even more amplified by number 45, whose name I will not say.
That's right.
And just that cavalier attitude, and that acceptance. And a lot of acceptance is in very high-class communities, prep school culture. The day after the election, I was speaking with somebody who grew up in that, and she was just saying, when I hear him talk, he reminds me of all these guys I grew up with.
Okay.
And the women that married them just kind of go along with it, and that is a problem, because no one's talking about these things that have been happening so long. They're just now talking about it. But it's always been, just like the Black Lives Matter, like policemen killing black and brown and people of color since I was in high school, probably before, and definitely before that. So I think it's good. The only positive I can see in number 45 and what's the position that he has is waking a lot of people up.
Okay.
And they're being forced to face their racism, their sexism, their whatever. And there's still some people that still are staying in the dark. But when it starts hitting them, like this tax bill thing, that might actually hit some people.
Okay.
They might really be like, hey, what did I do? But no, I think there's the way that young men are taught, and I think it definitely gets down to the media and the lack of images of females as full people, and not just playing the wife or the girlfriend, or even just the wife or the girlfriend or the mother. Like when I was out here in the 90s, most of the female roles, especially women of color, were like these one-dimensional. I mean, John Singleton's presented a lot of those characters in all of his movies. Like you look at Neil Long's character in Boys in the Hood, and you look at Tyra's character in Higher Learning, it's the same woman. Spike Lee did not present multi-dimensional women. The most I think she's got to have is the most dimensional women. But look how many women are in the staff as writers. So you know, it's changing, and he also got married. He also had a daughter. So I think his perspective has opened up in a lot of ways. But I think it really boils down to how young men are raised in this society, and what, be a man and all that bullshit. And so they go with there to be a man, and they think being a man is taking control. And it's we got a lot of work to do. But at least now more people are waking up. The fact that the Time Person of the Year is a bunch of women, including the black woman who started Me Too, who wasn't even on the cover. But the fact that they acknowledge her and they acknowledge these women as the Person of the Year shows that there's awareness.
Okay. So I mean, to really speak on that, 45 did make it, showed everybody that this is what's going on, right? But do you find that because 45 is the way he is, that people are more embracing that negativity in themselves, or is it just?
Yeah, I mean, I think it gives him license, because he got away with it. Grab him by the, he gets away with it. But you also seeing all these other people who are not getting away with it, who are losing their jobs, in high positions of power, where it's politics or entertainment or whatever. So I think a lot of that is good. But people keep pointing out, but look who's in office. Why is he in office? Why is R. Kelly still selling records? I don't support R. Kelly in any way. I don't care what kind of song he made. It could be the greatest song in the world. I was working with young girls when all that first came out. I was working in middle schools in Brooklyn, and these girls run around singing his songs. I'm like, what are you doing? Do you realize that he disrespects young ladies like you? But they were trained to accept it and not think about what this man did.
So
and that's the problem.
So Holly.
Yes.
What is your thoughts on this rape culture? I mean,
I definitely agree with a lot of things that you said. I think you encompassed it very beautifully and like in a lot of different perspectives. Yeah, I just think it's a lot of double standards as far as, 45 being in office and him not getting in trouble for that. But I think his time is about to come to an end. I think it's going to be like impeachment with this whole Russia thing. Every day they're uncovering something new, but it's a shame that he's not being held to a standard as far as his choice of words is concerned with women and the people that he's been accused of sexually being inappropriate with. It's a double standard. But when Matt Lauer got fired, I was like, oh my goodness, like, because I just grew up watching him on TV. Yeah. So I was like, oh my God, this is really like serious. But every day it seems like it's a new allegation. Obviously Russell Simmons has had to step down from a lot of his companies as well. So, it's really coming to the surface now. People are taking it very seriously because there was a time where women said, well, he touched me inappropriate, he did X, Y, and Z, and nobody really cared. So I think it started with the Bill Cosby thing. People at my job were like, and I debated with someone like really like seriously with this because I feel like that was a setup in a lot of ways, but I do feel like he probably did mislead women and do a lot of those things, but I don't know, it was just weird to me the way it came out, but I don't know.
And it's, you know what's so crazy? You know what's so crazy about it is that, and I was having a conversation with a couple of people about it, is that, a lot of Caucasian people, or people that are in high power, regardless if they're black or white or they're different, they have a long memory. They remember if somebody that was in a position to change things for a certain ethnicity, they remember whatever they did. Bill Cosby tried to buy NBC, put a bid in for NBC. They did not like that.
Right.
A lot of the people that are putting the allegations, the ladies that were putting the allegations that he did, X, Y, and Z and this and that, they were former employees of NBC, former people that worked for NBC.
Right.
So you got to try to put that correlation in there, like, why would this all of a sudden be something that's happening?
25 years.
I agree too. If it's inappropriate, and whatever happened or anything that was an issue.
It was a stand-up comedy routine by Hannibal Buress.
Yeah.
Right. Someone said, "Hey, Hannibal, do this."
Right.
Like, I mean, his reputation was not a secret. I knew stuff about it. I know someone he personally said something very vulgar to and pulled out his junk at, and it still bothers her to this day.
Yeah.
Right, I agree that it happened.
Same here.
I think it happened.
I know one of the people that went public and got on TV and all that.
I think that it happened.
And that's the issue as far as if you put yourself in a situation to where you're trying to do something that's, a great thing that's never been done before.
Especially if you're a black man.
Do something that's going to come back on you, or do anything to where it's going to put you in a negative light. Yeah. And if you do one thing, it's always going to put it right back on the table. Same thing with OJ. Yeah. OJ didn't get convicted. Oh, we're gonna get you some kind of way. We're gonna get you some way or another.
They gonna get your
ended up getting him anyway. So that's what I'm saying. You can't do certain things and have this type of stature, especially if you're a person of color, and think it's not gonna come back.
Yes. They couldn't catch him on nothing. They tried. He even thought about it. He knew he couldn't.
Right.
When I say money advice, I'm gonna get all details.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So what? I mean,
rape culture is real.
Yeah. So how do we change that? Is the question.
Well, I think mental health. Like, I think my personal opinion. I think society has like physical health, and it's like you need help, like heart attack, stroke, all this shit. But I think my personal opinion and my soul, I think a lot of people walk around mentally disturbed and they don't get help. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna make y'all sad or whatever, but I'm just telling y'all my truth.
Open dialogue has to happen. It has to happen. They have to understand.
And so many people have your story, but they're not in a society that accepts them saying their truth. So you doing that is inspirational to a lot of people and help a lot of people.
Yeah, and just to add to that, and for many years, I kept that in my heart. You understand what I'm saying? I kept that in my heart. So when up to maybe 10 years ago or more, probably, let's say 10 years. 10 years ago, I shared that with people. I grew and I shared that with people. People who were raped, people who were molested, people who were been through domestic violence, etc., etc. I shared that with people. And some people came to me privately, one-on-one, like I were in face, and some people came to me through inbox, and it's like, yo, AZ, hey Adrian Ziegler, hey Zig, I went through the same exact thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?